Hi there, thank you for joining me to chat about this latest episode of Sister Wives, Season 18, Episode 14. If you're a fan of the show, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and also let me know your thoughts on the episode in the comments. You can also hit the thumbs up button, whatever works for you. So the episode opens up with Mary talking about her and Cody once again. The anniversary was April, it's now October, and she says that their first anniversary in Flagstaff, Cody had said things to her to lead her to believe that he wanted a relationship with her. But I was thinking, even so, if he hasn't been acting as such, go with the actions. Why are we bringing up what he told you the first anniversary in Flagstaff? This was how long ago? Granted, it's not right for, Cody to string her along, but come on now. She said that he had cheers at the anniversary. He'd made a toast to new beginnings. But what is the new beginnings? It could be anything. I think he maybe have made it purposely vague for you to, and leave it up to interpretation for you to run with it. But what exactly was the new beginning going to entail? And then after that, seeing that nothing has changed, why would you still be hanging on to that or still feel like, he really wanted a relationship when he wasn't making any effort, he wasn't coming by? I just don't understand why this would be even brought up now, or why she would be hanging on to that. Anyway, she says that, she feels like the covenant between her and Cody has been broken, and then she goes on to say that she has been emotionally abandoned by Cody for years, well before the catfish thing, which I think most viewers would agree because, had she not been abandoned, not that it's right anyway, she's married, but had she not been abandoned, physically, emotionally by Cody, she wouldn't have been chatting to people online. So, we don't dispute that as the audience watching that. Janelle says there has been problems between them for a long time, and she understands that Mary is a loyal person, but wonders at what point does it become unhealthy. And yeah, it's definitely unhealthy. How long do you hang on, put your life on hold just because a person told you something, It just sounds a bit naive, because if a person is not putting forth the effort, how long do you continue to believe the words when there are no actions behind it? So there's a flashback to a confessional of Cody saying that if Mary wanted to move on and get married again, she wouldn't have any arguments out of him. So he has been saying this for a while, I think, even in just this season alone. Christine, in her confessionals, feels like it's disgusting that Cody has been dragging Mary along for years, and equally disgusting that Robin has been coaxing her into staying in the family, which I agree. Why is Robin, so insistent on Mary staying in the family? She's not having these conversations with any other wife. Why is she latching on to Mary and trying to control what she does? Anyway, she says she would talk to Robin and Mary says she would talk to Robin and let her know what her next move is. She was saying that she didn't know what she was going to do, but she was going to talk to Mary. I'm sorry, she was going to talk to Robin. So she feels like, Robin will care about what she decides that she wants to do. And, of course, Robin's going to care how it affects her because, she's going to care, but is it really about, what's best for Mary or what's going to, positively impact her or negatively impact her versus how it impacts Robin? She was the one who's supposedly her friend, but didn't invite her over for Easter. It was crickets from her. Mary goes on to say that her and Cody are going to have some conversations, which I hope is only related to business. When I was seeing this part of the episode, what else is there to talk about? I thought this was ironed out in the last 3 episodes. What is there to talk about further? Christine and Janelle are still in Idaho. We see where they're going to the nature preserve, and they're going to go for a hike with her, Christine, her brothers, and their families, and a few of the children. Cody says in his confessional that he finds it comical that Christine and Janelle have a good relationship, which he calls a newfound relationship. So, to me, he's trying to say that they're only friends because Janelle is planning on leaving him, so they have that in common. And I feel like he believes that that's the foundation of their relationship, and probably that's why he's calling it newfound. But I know there have been references to them having a good relationship over the years, so I don't know why he is calling it newfound. Anyway, he goes on to say that the relationship between them were more antagonistic before, which it seems like that's what he preferred, because now that they're having a good friendship, he doesn't like that either. He goes on to say they're united in a common enemy, which is him and Robin, because they never have anything nice to say about him. And as per usual, Cody is the victim in every situation, and this one is no different. Of course, he's not going to, acknowledge the truth that maybe there's some truth to what they're saying. Maybe the things that you're doing are not nice, and maybe that's why they don't have anything nice to say about you guys. But anyway, he chooses to play the victim once again. Cody says that he has known Christine's brothers since they were teenagers and would have called them his friends prior to him and Christine breaking up. So, he's so shady. So I guess they're the enemies now because he and Christine have broken up. They're no longer considered brothers or friends. So, yeah, he's mad at them too just because Christine left, I guess. So they are... Christine has a confessional where she said that she hasn't talked to her brother about the divorce from Cody, which Cody seems to be of the impression that maybe they knew all the details and, possibly mad at him why he feels like they're no longer friends, or he's alluding to that they no longer are friends. So there's a conversation while they're at the nature preserve that Levi's mother-in-law had gone back to school. And Christine mentions that Janelle had gone back to school when she was an adult and had children at home. And Janelle says she had graduated with her degree when she was 33 years old, which was really awesome that she went back because, she was managing a lot of things. She had a bunch of children at home. She was an adult. She had to stay up late at night doing her studies. And Janelle said it was a lot of work. And Christine said that she had babysit when she could to help her out. And, that was just awesome. And this is one of the instances where, it seemed that they had always get along, even though it might not have been, 100% smooth sailing between the two. It seemed like they had always looked out for one another, contrary to what Cody is trying to say. So Christine also said that there were classes at their church that would tell them that the world is ending. And she had mentioned that her dad had told her it was baloney, and so she went to college. So it seemed to me that, the church was having these classes and spinning these narratives to keep the women, ignorant. That's what it looks like to me. Because, she was willing to forego college because this is what they were telling her in these classes. So she was thinking like, well, what's the point, of going to college if the world's going to end? I'm not going to do that. What's the degree going to do for me? And so it seems just propaganda, to keep the women ignorant. And you can see that a lot of times in these types of plural marriages, these type of situations, that the women are not really as knowledgeable of the world per se as a normal person would. And I think that's probably by design. She said the church encouraged food storage, like tons and tons of stuff. So I was thinking in my head, like, the church is turning them into doomsday preppers. My word. Cody said that they were storing stuff in Christine's garage, and that when Christine left, they had to now put the stuff in storage. He's griping about now how he has to pay for it, for all this stuff to stay in storage. So I guess that he's got tons and tons of stuff. We see some flashback of how they're buying, they had a pantry that was full of, 10 stuff. They bought stuff in bulk. He was also mentioning in the flashback about how they buy huge tons of meat, so they want to make sure that they have a lot of stuff. Not that it's bad to have like reserves, but to that extent, I don't think it's a bad thing either, but the portion of saying that the world is going to end is a part that I have an issue with. There's nothing wrong with, having reserves if you feel like that's something that gives you comfort. Anyway, back on the trail, we see where they came to a spot, and Janelle felt like it would have been a good spot to have a family reunion. Janelle said that the kids miss Robin's kids, and she hoped that she could get the kids together. She says that, so much has happened and whatnot that she doesn't even know if that would be possible. I think that it would be a good idea if they could get all the kids together. And even if the kids were to organize something by themselves, because I feel like it's the adults that have issues and not the children per se. Back in Idaho, they're going to have a barbecue and they're playing Frisbee. Christine said it has been a fun couple of days and that she's very, very competitive. She joked that that's the reason why she was the first one to leave, that she always has to win. Janelle's having fun as well. I think she hasn't done Frisbee before either, maybe it had only been a couple of times. But she says that Christine's family is awesome. She's enjoying hanging out with them. And so after they were done playing Frisbee, they were sitting down and Levi asked, what has been happening in the last few years as it relates to her marriage to Cody. So she tells him that Cody said he wasn't attracted to her anymore and that she wasn't being nice to the sister wives. We know that means she wasn't nice enough to Robin. Janelle also agrees that Christine was not being mean to the other wives. That was just Cody. I guess she wasn't living up to Cody's standard of how she was supposed to behave towards Robin. Janelle also feels a bit awkward with the public discussion. She's a bit more private, and unless she's really comfortable, she's not really going to speak openly about her private life, and so she was feeling a little bit awkward. But Christine says their family talk openly. They ask, if there's something on their mind, they're going to ask, and so that's okay by her. Christine said at one point that Cody wanted to be off the paperwork of her house, and that was really hurtful. He says he didn't want to be on her house. He wanted to be on the house with Robin, and so they had refinanced to remove his name from the house. Cody said that he wanted nothing to do. Cody said in his confession that his name being removed had nothing to do with the breakup, that he wasn't thinking of breaking up when he asked for his name to be removed, which I was like, so then why remove your name? And it could be, I guess it's possible that wasn't crossing his mind at that point. It could be that he didn't want that debt on his credit, and maybe he wanted to buy other things, and so that would, that would be something that would no longer be in his DTI and stuff like that. So I guess it's possible. Either way, it worked out for Christine in her favor, because she said when she walked away, she was able to sell the house and keep the proceeds of the house to herself. She didn't have to have anybody that she had to consult with, anybody who had to be at the closing but her. And so with him removing his name, things worked out smoothly for her when she left. And she goes on to say, that's why Janelle is hanging on still, because, she doesn't really have anything in her name, unlike her. She also says that Robin's name was even on her plot, which is crazy. I thought the plot was hers, so why would Robin's name be on her plot? Which this whole land thing is a little bit crazy, because I thought that they had said that they had to subdivide the land. So then how can they have their own plots if they haven't subdivided the land yet? The whole thing that they're doing with the land is kind of confusing to me. She said that the day that she told Cody not to come back to her house was the day that she took her life back. She had enough of him and she was done. Janelle said that they were raised in a culture pretty much that, divorce was frowned upon, it's till death do you part. So it's difficult for her to know how to reconcile her faith with where she is in her life. She says she still has a spiritual marriage with Cody and she doesn't know how to undo that. She said this before too, which I don't know why she keeps saying that it shouldn't be that hard. But anyway, Christine believes that, she's holding out because she wants to get her finances together. And I think that could be the case. Not necessarily that she doesn't know how to undo it, because she can just walk away, but she has to make sure that she has her ducks in a row as far as her assets and stuff like that, which makes sense. I wouldn't want to jump the gun and then ruin my ability to state my claim on things that I should rightfully have. So anyway, Janelle says that she doesn't want to live with Cody. She doesn't want to get back with him, but she is not really in a hurry per se to pursue a divorce. So we see where Robin, Cody, and Mary are going to sit down to talk about the property and plans for splitting it up. Okay, so it's still not split up. So they said they had plans for splitting it up. So I don't know how this whole thing is supposed to work. Anyway, Mary says she hasn't seen Cody much since the anniversary. Cody starts by saying to her when they sat down, so it looks like they're at like a park or something, so they go to sit down by a picnic bench. So it's her, Robin, and Cody. I don't see where he even said hi, and maybe that was cut out. He started by saying, so since you want to build on the property, do you want to walk it? And both Mary and Robin were like, slow down. I think you're missing a very important step. You're jumping all over stuff here. Mary says in her confessional that the property needs to be paid off and subdivided. Okay. She says it had to be subdivided and says Christine signed over her property to Christine signed over her plot to Robin. And I thought somebody had said it was signed over to Janelle, but I guess that was wrong. Cody says that she had traded his stake, I guess, in the house when she sold it for her shares in Coyote Pass. And so this is how he ended up getting her shares. So her shares of her plot at Coyote Pass now belongs to Cody. Sorry, I think I said Robin just now. And Cody says, I think Mary asked, so what are they doing as far as the splitting? Cody said that they're still going to do the 5 plots. And the extra, and Mary asked what's going to happen with the extra lot, and he says it's going to be his. So he says that there's a family lot which he's not going to give to any wife. So that one, he says, is going to be for the family apparently. I don't know, because he would say later on that basically he doesn't know what's going to happen with him and the kids. And at this point, he doesn't really care about the kids anyway, so I don't know why he's talking about a family plot, but this is the guys that he's using to hold on to that plot for himself. So according to the layout that they're showing, Robin and Janelle has the 2 large lots, which are 4 acres each, and then there are 3 smaller lots, which are the one belonging to Mary, the family lot, and then the one that was previously Christine's that's now going to be Cody's. So Mary is having an issue with everyone having larger lots than her because Christine and Janelle has the 4, Cody has the one that's the family lot, and then the one that's formerly Christine's, which would make him have 4 acres. Janelle has 4 acres, Robin has 4 acres, and she only has 2. Which, yeah, that's a good question to ask. Why wasn't it split, equally to begin with? So Janelle, in her confessional, says she wonders why the lot would not get split, equally, which I was wondering the same thing as well. She says that there should have been, 4 acres. No, she says, Cody said that she would still have her 4 acres when she asked about why it wouldn't be split equally. But there are 14 acres. She didn't say anything else, but something may have been cut out here because this sentence that she said just hung out into nowhere. Anyway, she said that she thinks it's about time that they get an appraisal of the land to determine what the value is and what's fair for the 4 of them. Cody in his confessional bring up how Mary has 1 child and he has 18. I was just like, wow, what does this have to do with anything? So he's trying to say he should get more of the land because she only has 1 child. Is he serious right now? What does the number of children have to do with anything? So anyway, he goes on to say that he wants to keep the lot with the pond for the whole family. So he says. And so basically, he goes on to discredit her even more or try to avoid acknowledging her concern about how the land is being split. He says basically that it's common knowledge that Mary does not want to share resources. And basically what I'm gathering is that he's suggesting that the motive behind her concern is because she doesn't want to share. And so she's trying to hold more of the land to herself versus him being the good guy and holding a lot for the family. So she says that she has contributed quite a bit. So if she has contributed significantly towards the land, why is this not a valid concern for her to have? And I hope that she sticks to her guns and make sure she gets her fair share of the land. So in the conversation among the three, Robin said that, I had to laugh when this scene came up. Robin says, "You never know if Cody and I are gonna stay together." And she said, "I mean, you never know." And Mary said, "You never know what's going on and what's gonna happen 22 years down the road." And they laughed. And then they said, "Oh yeah, that was a bad joke," but Cody was not amused. Oh my goodness. I wouldn't be either, but I still didn't feel sorry for him. I was laughing right along with them. So I just wondered why Robin would choose this moment to make that joke, though. I was like, very interesting, very interesting. So I wonder if this means that Robin does not see a death till death do us part scenario going on here. But anyway, Mary kind of stokes the flames a little bit by saying, she didn't think 10, 12 years ago that this would happen. Anyway, Robin goes on to apologize for the bad joke, and Cody still looked pissed. She's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. Robin, in her confessional, tries to clean things up about her comments. She says, no one knows what the future holds, and she's not saying that her and Cody are going to split up, but that she deserves her fourth of the land too, separate from Cody. But she's getting more than a fourth of the land. So is she going to give back the excess land so Mary can have more, or for the land to be split more equitably? She's getting more than a fourth in this scenario based on the plat map that we see in the episode. They continue to talk further about the land, and Robin says that her lot will pass on to her children, and Cody's lot will be more of for like all the children or something like that. And then she says to Cody, "Is that how you see it?" And Cody's like, "No, not really." And so Mary asks, "How do you see it?" And he answers and before he could answer, Robin says, "No, don't answer right now because you're not in the best headspace," or something to that effect, which was weird. She's the one who asked him if this is how he saw it. She posed the question, but then doesn't want him to answer it. So I was just wondering, why would she jump in before he could answer? Does she think that he's going to go on a rant or something, or something's going to come out that she doesn't want him to say? It was just weird. Cody says there's way more to the picture, and there's no point in discussing it at this point. It would all be just speculation. I was like, huh? Can somebody decode this for me? What does this even mean? I just don't get what he's driving at here. He says that things constantly change, and who's to say that he doesn't get fed up and leave Flagstaff? And anyone could do that like Christine did, which is beside the point. I don't know why he's bringing up Christine leaving. But at the end of the day, everything is variable. Things change all the time, but that doesn't mean that you don't do estate planning. So what is the point? What? You still plan, and then, when you change things, you adjust your estate planning. If you decide to leave and you up and sell it, then you up and sell it. So anyway, Mary says with the 2 acres being freed up, she should get a part of it, but Cody says he's not thinking that, and she's like, okay, I understand. Mary says that she's being treated as less than because she only has one child, and basically she's no longer a wife. But I don't think she should back up off her concerns or her claims that she should get more of the land. If she had made significant contributions, then she should be getting what's fair for the contributions that she has made. But the way I see it, the two acres is not really freed up. It was traded with Christine in lieu of his shares in the house. Now, how does he make it right with the other wives to split that up? That's up to him. But really, this was traded to him, so it's not really freed up per se. Now, I wonder why Janelle and Robin has a larger lot than anyone else. Did they put in more money or what? Why not split it up, equally? With the 5 people and 14 acres, it would have been about 2.8 acres per person. So why didn't they do that to begin with? And Mary only has 2 acres, which is less than a fifth of the land. So I don't understand, but that's what they're doing. Mary says she had a bombshell to drop, and Robin was acting so nervous and scared and shocked, like, oh, I wonder what it is. My heart's beating. And I'm thinking to myself, like, how shocking could it be? What could, we already know that Cody doesn't want to be in a marriage with her. What would be so shocking if she decides to make some changes in her life based on that? She's just trying to, I don't know, create drama out of nothing. So she says that Mary says to them that the B&B, she was at the B&B this weekend and it needs me. She's like, what? Robin was like, what does that mean? And she says she won't be renewing her lease in Flagstaff, and that her intentions were to build on Coyote Pass as planned, but she's not going to renew her lease. Robin asks if it's going to be temporary, and she says no, and Robin starts to make the cry face. In her confessional, Robin says that she can't fight it because it's not fair to Mary. Mary says she has to make decisions for herself regardless of how Robin may feel or how Cody may react, which absolutely she should do. Cody asks Mary if she wants to look at the lot or is it off her radar. I don't know why he keeps asking her if she wants to look at the lot. Well, maybe it was just a deflection because he doesn't want to hear any more of what she has to say, and maybe, just to break things up and not have to talk to her any further. But she says, it's not really off her radar. But, the things that Cody had said to her, has kind of changed her outlook a little bit. And he says that why can't it be about where we are and not because of what he said? Like, what? What are you trying to say? Where are they? They're nowhere. So I don't know what Cody. If anybody can decode this, please let me know, because I didn't get what he was trying to say. Mary said Cody was over the other day and they had a good conversation. Cody says romance is not in the picture, but Mary seemed to think that there was more to the conversation. I don't know why she was bringing up that they had a conversation the other day. Mary said that they talked for an hour and had a good conversation. Cody, in his confessional, says that he has been defensive due to the situation with Janelle and Mary. He also goes on to say something rather curious. He says that he has been managing the relationship with Mary carefully for the last 7 years. Now, this sounds like something that you would hear in like a spy movie, like you have to manage your asset. And I was like, what is this? Is this some volatile diplomatic situation that you have to manage? And the fact that he's saying manage to me means that he's been trying to placate her, keep her happy, tell her just enough of what she wants to hear to keep her where he wants her, wherever that is. It just sounds so calculated and strategic that I was just like, man, what a relationship to be in. Ooh, it just sounds so yucky. Cody says that he's trying to be honest as he can without being a jackass. Well, yeah, I think it's too late for that, but okay. He says Robin has always advised him to seek healing and work on his relationship with the other wives, sometimes against his wishes, and he wants her to stop. Which, yeah, I agree with you. Robin dipping into his other relationships is kind of annoying. Cody says that he can love her, in reference to Mary, he can love her the way she wants to be loved, or she can move on anyway, which I agree. If he can't give her what she wants, the outcome is going to be like she's ultimately going to have to leave. I don't know why Mary just don't give it up. Just leave him alone. Cody tells Mary that she wants something that they can't have together, but they can always have something else, but not that. Robin starts to cry, and then she walks away from the table. She says she'll have to go for a walk, and she doesn't want to sit there and watch them break up. Well, I just don't know why she's there to begin with. This is something private, and I don't know, unless Mary invited her out there, but I don't know why. She didn't need to be there. Anyway, I thought they broke up already. Like, why is this being dragged out? I'm so tired of hearing about it. Cody tells her she needs to accept that things are not going to get back to where they used to be. And Mary says she's not saying, Mary says it's because of his lack of interest, and that he said that in private, but he won't say it publicly. But what does it matter? What does it matter if he says it to you and he's not saying it on camera? The fact remains that he's not interested. So let it be. Ugh. Oh my goodness, I'm so tired of hearing about this. Robin comes back later and said that she left, says sorry that she left. She wanted to be supportive. And she feels like she wanted to try to stop them from finalizing anything. Robin says to Mary, are you even accepting this? And Mary laughs and said, what am I supposed to do, Robin? What am I supposed to do about it? Mary says she's not going to force somebody to do something that they don't want to do or act how they don't want to act. And then Cody says the act is easy. And then Mary says the act is obvious. So they keep talking in code about the act. So what I'm gathering from here, and I don't know if I'm right, but he's saying that it's easy to be intimate with her, but there's nothing more to it than just doing it. And Mary is trying to say, well, it's kind of obvious that that's what it is. Cody says he's not an act, he's just performing his duties. And so, are they still being intimate? That's what I'm wondering. Like, has Mary been indulging this fool? I'm sorry, why did I call him a fool? I take that back. He's been indulging Cody? I hope not. I hope they're talking about eons ago, when they were intimate, and not like recently, because this would make no sense. Anyway, I hope that's not the case, because Cody hasn't been around her, doing anything for her, hanging out with her, and if that was the case, this would be some strange stuff. Anyway, Robin in her confessional says that one of the reasons that she fell in love with him was because of how Cody had loved his wives, which is what drew in the other wives. So it seems like that's his little thing, He showcased how he loves his wife, and then draws in another one, and this is how he snags the ladies. She says she is tired of him talking like this. I guess talking about not wanting to be with Mary. But if that's honestly how he feels, what is so wrong with that? He doesn't have to feel the way that you want him to feel. Anyway, at the table, Cody goes on to say that, Christine just left and that she wasn't wrong, but there was no negotiation. So now I guess he wants to be able to say how things should go now that he says he doesn't want her. Now this is what I can offer you, so hang around and do this, do that. So he's kind of, I guess, mad at Christine because Christine didn't want to hear anything else. You said you don't want me, I'm out. So he says he's not deciding that it's over, which is completely contradictory to what he's been saying for the last 3 episodes. And what he even said today. He says it's what she wants is not going to work, but he's trying to be fair. So if it's not over, then what is it? If both parties don't want the same thing, what do they have? So he says that if he is willing to fake being in love with Mary, if he has to, doing his duties, putting up with her for whatever, he can fake through it. Wow. Why? Why would you want to do that to yourself or even do that to her? If you care anything at all for this lady, please don't do that. He says he doesn't want to, but he can if he has to. But why would you feel like you have to? This is just strange. Regardless of what Mary says, I feel like he needs to stick to his guns and just let her go. And don't be dishonest and fake things with her and drag things out even further. Because I thought this breakup had already happened. It's over and done with. And why are we talking about it's not over? Seriously. This is annoying me to no end. Like, seriously. You don't love her, leave her alone. Her knowing he doesn't love her, leave him alone. Anyway, I think it's possible, that he cares about her as a person. They've been married for, 30 something years. But you, at this point, knowing that you don't want to have any kind of marriage with her, you don't get to say or be involved in her life or anything like that. You can still be civil and whatnot. I'm not saying that, you have to hate her and you guys can't talk, but you already said it out your mouth. You don't want a relationship with her. So just stay back and let her be. Mary said that she wants to heal the relationship or even create a new one. And I'm like, why, Mary? Why? Mary goes on to say it's not fair for her to hang on, and it's not fair for him to feel like he has to perform a duty. This is when Robin was back at the table. And this is when they got to holding hands, her and Robin. Cody says that this appears to be the end of their plural marriage. Robin says she wanted a plural marriage, so Cody's probably going to have to find a replacement wife. Or else, I think, if Cody wants to just have her and Robin doesn't want that. Doesn't bode well. So Cody says that things have finally come to an end, and he hopes Mary finds peace, because he will. And I really do hope that it sinks into Mary this time that it's over. Robin says that she will be spending time on her knees looking for peace and answers and boo-hoos, as she said, boo-hoos about wanting to sit on the porch with her sister wives and grandkids. And she was saying some other stuff while she was crying. I didn't hear much of what she was saying. I kind of tuned out when she started that boo-hooing and the face and the crying. And I don't even know why she's emotional about this. I don't even know why. It's not your relationship. You didn't have a marriage with Mary. Why are you crying? Cody is not even crying. Why are you crying? So this meeting was just strange and drawn out. Yeah, I think they were attempting to have a dramatic scene, and it was just weird. No one does a breakup with a third party. And this is what, a post-breakup? Like, they've broken up for like however long. There's like 3 episodes of reiterating that Cody doesn't want her anymore. They no longer have a marriage. He doesn't care anymore. But yet here we are talking about a breakup. Why? Anyway, I think these are the main points of the episode. Let me know your thoughts on what happened in this episode. Like, comment, and subscribe.